It's for the purpose of you being able to be a part of making the community of people, especially who look like you and have ancestry like you, of that place. If you get to where you are insensitive, indifferent, and blind to the horrors that are going on around us, then that means that you have become a part of the problem instead of being a part of the solution. HIV/AIDS, I find to be, and this is my last point to you, I find HIV/AIDS to be important to me. People ask me, where do I get my passion for AIDS from? It's because I figured this out. If we deal with HIV/AIDS effectively, we will deal with all the other stuff that harms us in our community. You're not going to deal with HIV and not deal with sexism. You're not going to deal with HIV and not deal with racism. You're not going to deal with HIV and not deal with poverty. You're not going to deal with HIV and not deal with housing and food.
High incarceration, right?
When you deal with HIV and AIDS, you have to deal with all of those things. Not to mention, you deal with misogyny. You know that word? Misogyny? When you get to where you look at women, especially, but other people, and all you can see in them is that which is the object of your sexual gratification and pleasure. That's misogyny. You know? You have to get to where we get beyond that. Because until we do, that means that we will continue to be the breeding ground for these horrors that are being visited upon our community. So I hope that when you talk about HIV and you learn the biomedical side of it, you also learn that a lot of what it's going to take to change the spread of this disease is behavioral, it's psychological, it's social, all right? And it has to do with you. Because as much as you can sit around and think it's not me, you know, and for all y'all that think it's not you, I'll ask you one of my questions that used to be a favorite question I used to use about 20 years ago. If you went into Africa, this also is almost true in America today. If you went into Africa, I don't know if it's true in America, but it's a part of the problem in America. What would be the way in which a young woman in Africa would be most likely to end up contracting HIV/AIDS? Yes.
Childbirth.
Childbirth. The answer is get married. So you just think about you. You saved yourself. You waited for the right man. You waited for, you know, we just like other places where they'll write off what men do and say boys will be boys. You know, they're going to play with their toys. But one day they'll grow up and decide, well, you know. See what I'm saying? Serious, y'all. Serious. Think about when it's your sister who maybe did all the right things and said, you know, maybe she was sexually active, but she had enough sense that she used a condom, or that she was in an exclusive relationship with somebody. And then you marry somebody, and the night that you get married, you end up being infected. It's real. It's very real. You need to learn how to see it that way and appreciate it. That it's not about them, they, and those. You know, it's about you, me, and us. And until you see it that way, it's not what somebody else has got. Everybody's got AIDS in our society because the societal fabric is woven in a way that every strand of it is affected by the totality of it. So I just pray that you will open your hearts, open your minds, and that you will learn the biomedical science, but you'll also realize that the spread of this disease is ultimately going to depend upon you and your ability to grow, see things that you need to see them, make decisions where you need to make decisions, do things that we need to do, and to be the person that you need to be. That's it.